exciting to be back live. I'm really, really excited to be back live after, it seems like it's been ages since I've been live in here, but actually it's only been like 4 days. So there you go. I'm just going to wait for a few of you to hop on. I know that people have got things going on today, so I just kind of want to check in on a couple of things, because there are big things going on in the group at the moment. There are big things that are going on in my business that are going to be changing. There are lots and lots of things that are going to really affect the way that we kind of operate as a community, which is really exciting. But it also means that there will be some big kind of changes and shifts going on in here. Still saying my connection's weak. Oh, why is the internet doing this to me? Some internet god somewhere is sat there laughing that I can never use the internet. Fine. So, in terms of what I wanted to kind of share with you today, there are some huge changes that are going on in my business at the moment, and that there are huge changes that are going to be happening as a result of that. I'm just going to move the thing over a little bit. So, in terms of how daily trainings are going to go, they're going to be slightly different. Some of them will be Facebook live streams, some of them will be audios, some of them will be, yay, Sarah! I love that. Got your coffee and notepad and pen. Actually, speaking of you, well, speaking to you, how is the move going? How is your packing and everything like that going at the moment? Because packing is like the worst part to moving. So let me know how that's cracking on for you. So in terms of like things going on at the moment, I was having a bit of a chat over the weekend because, as some of you may or may not know, I spent last week just travelling insanely. So I was in London with the amazing Samantha Carbon, who is just amazing. So I was doing a day intensive with Sam in central London, and we were drinking a lot of coffee and kind of going through funnels, and it was all very exciting. And then I was in Geneva in Switzerland with the amazing Neve Chromo. So I spent 2 days in Switzerland eating chocolate, making cake, you know, joking around with Neve and her family. And we were talking about kind of big shifts that are changing, and the ways that the industry, specifically the coaching or online service-based entrepreneur industry, is going at the moment. It was really interesting. I think the big thing that stood out for me was that we were talking about how we can kind of get caught up in procrastination, and how we can actually get caught up in what other people think about us. And I was like, and as we were talking about it, I was saying to Neve, you know, there are times in your business where you need to step up, and where you need to be a leader, and where you need to really just kind of understand what's going on in your business, where you want to be, and how you reverse engineer that process. Now, Neve does this really cool thing in her business where she looks at people's visions for where they want to move forward. And so, for example, one of her clients' big dreams is to be on Oprah. And so Neve helps, you know, kind of work out how you're going to reverse engineer, how you're going to make that vision happen, which is really interesting. And so as I was talking to Neve about her business, and as we were setting up sales funnels, and as we were talking about what it takes to kind of step up and be a leader in your business, I realised that recently I'd kind of become pretty stagnant. And I was just kind of thinking about it on the plane home. Now, yay, Anushka, you're here live, and you want to be on Oprah. Yes, come on. We're all going to be on friggin' Oprah. But one of the things I realised on the plane, and I'm actually terrified of flying. So one of the things that I hate most in the world is actually getting on the plane. And I hate travelling on my own, because I'm one of those people that, you know, as soon as you go into that little grey tunnel where you have to walk down and get on the plane, I freak out at that point, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to go. And I literally just turn round at that point in the grey tunnel, and I'm like, no, it's cool, I don't need to go, I don't want to go on holiday, I'm good, and I try and walk away. And so the interesting thing for me is that I've travelled a lot over the last, 15 years, specifically when I was setting up global business divisions for corporates. I used to travel all the time, you know, and I used to fly regularly. And when I mean regularly, I'm talking like probably once or twice a week. And I hated it then, and I hate it now. So anyway, when I was flying across to Switzerland to Neve's, needless to say, I had a lot of time to kind of try and think about other things. And so on the way back, when I was getting on the plane, there was this really unfortunate incident. So I'm sat in the boarding lounge, and they say, okay, well, your flight's delayed. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, you know, the worst thing, when you're a nervous flyer, like the worst thing that can happen is your flight gets delayed, because automatically you start thinking, oh my goodness, my plane was broken, there's something wrong with it, like I don't want to get on. And so anyway, my flight was delayed for about 4 hours. So I'm sat in the airport, and luckily I've got my laptop, so I'm like tap, 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 and I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing, and thinking about the content that I'm going to be creating, and the stuff that I'm going to be doing for the guys in my Sellout Success group, and the people that I'm like one-on-one mentoring, and all that kind of things. And I was sat there thinking, okay, and in the back of my mind, there's like this little bit that's like, oh my goodness, the plane is broken, and what am I going to do? And, you know, if the plane breaks and falls out of the sky, then I'll probably die, and like, I haven't done half of the things that I want to do yet in my business or in my life. And so at that point, I decided that I needed to chill out massively, and also have a very large glass of wine. So I did both of those things. Anushka, you love to travel. Yeah, you know, I love traveling, really love traveling, hate planes, which is sort of an issue when you have to go anywhere other than the UK. Natalie, you wouldn't want to be an Oprah either, but you will have your dreams. Yeah, totally. Oprah's probably not my first choice, but there are some things that I would definitely love to be on. And I want to be in a film where Mila Kunis plays me. That would be ace. Like, even just like an extra, like a walk-on part. Like, this is Jess walking to the shop, and it's just played by Mila Kunis. That would be great. So anyway, I had my large glass of wine. I had my kind of 5-minute chat session. I was writing down the things that I felt like I hadn't really accomplished yet, or the things that I wanted to do in my life. And it was really interesting, because at the moment I'm teaching alongside Susan Kate. We're obviously running the SaaS Business Academy. One of the things we're doing at the moment is we're teaching a module called Brains, Body, Belief. And it's all about how you look at neuroscience to stop you feeling afraid. You know, if you, and stop you kind of getting into that paralysed, overwhelmed state, and how you move forward. And it talks about all the neuro pathways in your brain. It's actually really interesting. I'm a total science nerd, so it really appeals to me. But one of the things that you have to actually do is identify what you really want. You know, and it's one of those things that I always say to myself, oh, I should really do that. I should, you know, plan out what I want and think about how my business is going to grow and how it's going to expand and stuff over the next 3 months, 6 months. And I'd gotten into a habit where I'd set pretty big 3-month goals, and I'd set big kind of quarterly and 6-monthly goals. But I hadn't really thought and readjusted what I wanted from my life and what I wanted from the business in a little while. And so when I was sat in the airport, I kind of came up with this like bucket list, which you can't really see, but I've got it written typically on a bit of paper with my jazzy post-it notes to remind me the kind of key points. But I was thinking, okay, so what is it that I actually really want from my business and from my life over the next year and the next, 6 months and 3 months and that kind of thing. And actually, one of the biggest things that came up for me when I was worrying about the plane falling out of the sky was that actually there were a few things in my life that I had not even considered. And one of them was that I kept thinking, well, actually I really do want to make 7 figures in my business, and I really, I do want to step into that 7-figure business owner role, not because I particularly have any dreams of being a millionaire. I mean, it would be nice, but for me, I give obviously 50% of my revenue to charity every month. And so for me, making 7 figures would mean that I could help so many more people. One of the big charities that I donate to is actually quite a small charity in its own right. It's called Help for Homeless Veterans, and it aids people that have fought in wars for different countries, different armies, and actually helps them get new skills out in the kind of civilian world, okay, and puts them back into jobs and homes and things like that. That's one of the charities I support. And then another one of the charities I support is for teenagers who have severe eating disorders. So I do a lot of voluntary work with those guys to make sure that actually there are, funds in place and schemes in place to actually help people move forward with those things. And then I support a lot of different kind of charities. I'm a total animal lover, so I donate a lot of money to animal charities, and I walk dogs for the local rescue shelter and stuff like that. And actually, when I was looking at it, I was like, I want to do a lot more for charity than I already do. I donate 50% of my revenue, and that's kind of cool, but actually the time that I get to spend in the charity, kind of walking the dogs, or going out and doing PR for the charities themselves, or actually spending time volunteering myself and helping the people that are in need that are getting the help from the charity, is quite limited, because obviously I'm working an awful lot. And so it was really interesting to me to think, okay, well, actually I want to be a 7-figure business owner because I want to step up. I want to be able to automate some of my business, and a lot more than I currently do. You know, not saying that I don't want to work with one-on-one clients, because I love that. That's totally my jam, and that's in my book, it's the most fun part of my business, to be able to watch with somebody, work with somebody one-on-one and watch them transform. But it made me think about how I wanted to actually step up, and the sorts of things that I wanted to do to make that step up, and the reasoning behind it. The other thing that it made me realise was that actually, and I joke about it quite a lot, but actually one of the big things in my life is that I do want to retire Sam from the army. And I was thinking, well, you know, I talk about it a lot, and we've got all these plans about moving to Italy and buying a vineyard, and we're actually looking at places to buy this summer, which is really exciting. But I don't often tell people about it. It's not even like because I'm embarrassed I want to retire him from the army. It's one of those things that I don't really talk about it, because I previously, and prior to this flight, I'm totally blaming all of this all of this on the flight that I went on, because it was delayed for so long, and because we actually got stuck on the runway not being able to take off, and it was just horrific. But it's one of those things I didn't talk about, because I felt like if I said to people, okay, well, I want to earn this much money, and I want to retire my boyfriend from the army, and I want to do this, then I would look like one of those annoying people. And I do think, you know, and I've been that person where I'm like, oh my god, it's so annoying watching other people when they're like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and instead I'm just sort of like, you know, trying to create a landing page and working out my graphics aren't doing it, and, you know, not really selling as much as I'd like to. And I didn't want to be perceived like that. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, what is the problem with me stepping up? What is the problem with me stepping up and saying, do you know what, actually I do want to earn 7 figures, and I do want to do it for a good cause, and I do want to retire my boyfriend. Love it, Anushka, you are so annoying right now. Did I get that right? I think so. But it's true, you know, and I do want to do those things, because ultimately, selfishly, they will make my life better. And one of the biggest things that I was kind of talking to Neve about, and we were having a really interesting conversation about on her day intensive, was, you know, when you step up, when you actually accept that you are doing this for you, good. When you are doing this for you, even though you want to benefit others, like I fully believe in charity. I give a shit ton of money to charity because I really want to help people that are less fortunate than myself. Actually, I do it because it makes me feel better. Like, yes, it really benefits them, and yes, they're really grateful for it, and yes, you know, I get to spend my time with some wicked people, and I help them do a lot of PR and social media, and it's really good fun, and it's just so valuable. But ultimately, it kind of makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm making a wider impact on the world. And so in a selfish, you know, in a totally selfish way, I feel like I get the warm and fuzzies because I'm donating to charity. You know, if I retire Sam from the army, I'll be the one who'll get the warm and fuzzies, because I'll be like, oh, thank God, you know, Sam doesn't have to go away to, you know, the back end of Kabul, or, you know, he won't have to go to Canada for 7 months ever again, and we won't, you know, have to kind of not speak over Skype, or not be able to email, or have to send, you know, snail mail, which takes about 3 months to get to Canada because the Royal Mail Postal Service is just absolutely crap in the UK. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's exactly that, Sarah. You know, you can't serve others if you're not in a positive place yourself. And so the interesting thing for me was that as I was on this plane, and as I was like writing down all the things I want to do, I had, you know, I want to be a 7-figure business owner, I want to retire Sam from the army, I want to buy a vineyard, I want to have a restaurant, because I can't cook, obviously, but Sam can, you know, and he loves that kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, I want to have a restaurant so that he can, like, cook people, specifically me, but also other people, not just me, otherwise I will be, you know, huge. But, you know, I want to have a restaurant so that Sam can cook there. I want to build my business to be more on an automated scale. So I want to be able to help more people. I want to put in place a bigger group program. I want to be able to impact people more. I want to go and do more speaking events. I want to do more corporate speaking events, and I want to, you know, go out and actually make a shed ton of money and be able to give it all to charity and be, you know, the kind of crazy cat lady that just gives all of her money to the RSPCA, and, you know, the rest of it we make from wine. Oh God, is that what I said? Cook people. We won't be cooking people. We'll be cooking for people. And to be totally fair, I will not be cooking at all because I'm crap. But we'll potentially hire someone like Lorraine to come in and do like healthy retreats and things for when I've eaten too much cake. But it's that kind of thing. And so today I wanted to come into the group because it's really interesting, and for me, I love doing these daily trainings because it's so cool, and we get to talk about a lot of different stuff, and we get to do a lot of things together, like sales pages, copy, pitches, you know, email sequences. I'm going to be talking about podcasts and all that kind of good stuff. But I wanted to think about what you actually want your business to do for you, because it was something that I genuinely hadn't thought about for quite a long time, and I realised that I've been kind of stagnant for a little while, and I've been kind of just sat back going, oh yeah, you know what's really nice, and you know, I'm making like 20 grand a month, but I don't really tell anybody about it because I feel a bit embarrassed, because if they're not making 20 grand a month then it's a bit awkward, and you know, I don't want them to hate me because, oh, you know, and getting really like that about it. Oh, I love that, Natalie. You always start your program with the dream. Yeah, totally. And actually, I kind of was thinking to myself, do you know what? For so, like, let's say I've been in business 2 years now, probably for the last 6 months, I hadn't really gone back and reevaluated what my dream was. And so part of, you know, today for me is like coming back and going, okay, I think what I want to do for this group is not go all woo-woo and mindset on you, because I know that some people, particularly Anushka, hates that kind of stuff. And I don't think it's like necessarily. That was terrible grammatically. But I think that it's important that we kind of go, okay, well, what are our dreams in business? What do we want to achieve? Why do we want to achieve that? And actually step up and start owning some of those. Because I feel like I was almost embarrassed by my dreams. I was embarrassed to share the things that I really wanted to do, because I didn't want to make anybody feel shitty about themselves because they didn't have maybe the same goals as me, or because they weren't financially in the same place as me. And actually I realised on this plane of doom that I was doing you a massive disservice, because at the end of the day, I kind of sit here and I preach that this group is a place where we're open, where we're honest, where we're supportive, which is true, you know, it totally is. But I wasn't really stepping up and being like, hey guys, you know what, if you want to earn 20k, this is how you do it. And hey guys, if you want to kind of step up and work out how to sell yourself authentically, then actually, you know, you probably need to just go out there and start taking some action now. Or hey guys, if you want to actually see some big results this month, then why don't we do a challenge together, and why don't we all step up and do the same thing? And ultimately, and as a sales coach, this is hugely embarrassing but hilarious, so I'm going to roll with it. Ultimately, there was absolutely no point, or no kind of point in my goals where I was stepping up and saying, hey, you know what, it's all right to sell. Look, I do it on a regular basis. Or what I was doing was going, here, you know, I'm kind of leaving people on the edge and leaving them in this dystopic state where they get a ton of value, but they maybe don't know how to actually work with me. That was a big kind of realization for me, was that I probably wasn't stepping up enough to go from multiple six figures and a multiple six-figure business into a seven-figure business, because I was a bit embarrassed of what people would think of me, and you know, what people would think of this group, or you know, what people would think of who I was. If I suddenly turned around and was like, hey, guess what, I made 20 grand and woohoo, I'm really excited about that, and I'm going to go and, you know, spend it on, well, I don't know, but whatever, I spend my money on, you know, charity. A lot of charity. I fund like 1,000 meerkats, which is pretty much my life. But, you know, it was that kind of thing where I was thinking, okay, if I'm not stepping up and I'm not, you know, I'm not showing you that it's okay to have big dreams, that it's okay to go after them, and that it's okay to fail, and that it's okay to really, really succeed, and it's okay to sell your stuff, and it's okay to not sell your stuff, and it's okay to just give a shit ton of value, and it's okay to not give, you know, everything for free, and actually like charge low price for stuff, and set up passive income funnels and all this kind of stuff. Amazing. Anushka has squirrels to fund. That's wicked. Sarah, freedom goals. As an entrepreneur, your business totally impacts other areas of your life. You need to figure them out as a whole. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Sarah runs this really cool thing where, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Sarah, but I think it's 6 areas. It could be 7 though. Where it's like health, wealth, home, and I can't remember the others because I'm a terrible person. But it's really important that everything matches up, and that's something that I realised on the plane home, was that actually my goals need to match up to what I want in my life, but also I need to take some, you know, put on my big girl pants and step up and start owning those goals. Because at the moment I'm kind of on the fence, like, oh yeah, I'm coasting and I'm, you know, doing my 20 grand a month, or I'm doing my 30 grand a month, or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, and that's okay, and life's really good, which it is, but I'm not stepping up, and I'm not owning, you know, I guess the biggest thing is that I'm not stepping up and I'm not owning the rest of it. I'm not saying, oh yeah, actually I've got this really, really hot boyfriend, because he is, you know, and I moan about him a lot, but he's really hot and he's really nice and he's great and he is just perfect for me, you know, and I'm really, really grateful because I have this awesome business that supports all the charity stuff that I do. And the best bit is that I've got this great family who are totally supportive of all the, you know, the weird and wonderful things I do, including the fact that, you know, Sam got home from going on exercise before Christmas. He'd been away for a whole month, hadn't seen him, and when he got home he realised that I had given away our Christmas tree and Christmas decorations, and all of our Christmas lunch to a homeless shelter locally, because I was like, oh, I was really sad when I went in there and they didn't have any Christmas trees and they didn't have any turkey, and, you know, and he just kind of went, okay, fine, we'll just go to the supermarket and we'll buy more, you know, after being away and things like that. So I'm very lucky, and there are so many things that I really am fortunate to have in my life, but they didn't come around by me sitting there, you know, kind of manifesting it. And this is where I guess I sort of agree quite a lot with what we're told online, is that, oh, you can just sit at home and you know, wish to go to Disneyland and that'll just pop up. And actually it's not. I took a ton of action to get here, you know, and I think that it's not always obvious. You know, it's not always obvious the kind of action that people take to get to where they need to be, you know, how much work they're actually doing, what they're actually putting in, what effort putting in, how much money they're actually spending to get there, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to step up and say, actually, it's the start of a new week. Well, that was technically yesterday, but that was a holiday in the UK. And I was kind of jammed with other things. So I wanted to step up and say, do you know what? From now on in this group, it's going to be interesting, because we're going to have no excuses in this group. And we are all going to step up collectively. So whether you're stepping up to do 5 figures, whether you're stepping up to do 6 figures, whether you're stepping up with me to do 7 figures, I don't care. But we are all stepping up, and I'm not accepting any excuses in this group anymore. So, you know, I completely understand those of you who are like, yep, financially I am buggered and money is really tough. You know, so I completely understand if you're like, oh my gosh, you know, financially I'm screwed, like money's so tough and I don't want to invest it in a huge coach and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, yep, totally get that. But don't come to me with those excuses if you can't say that you are going to try, okay? Don't come to me and go, oh, I really don't have time and I don't have the energy and things like that, because all I'm going to do is turn around to you and say, we are doing this together, okay? All I'm going to do, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the energy, if you don't have the money, if you don't have whatever, all I'm going to do is turn around and say to you, we are doing this together. So you either want to join in, you want to get real with it, you want to step up and step into your business as being a leader and as being that person that does hit, Sarah, 4 figures or 5 figures or 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever, but you're here in the group and we're going to do it together, okay? okay? It's kind of like one of those things where it's like no man's left behind. I'm not leaving anybody in this group behind at all. Everybody is doing it, because the way I figure is that everybody is here in this community because you wanted to learn, because you want support, because you want to actually join in, because you want people that are going to, you know, help get you where you need to be. You want a network that's going to help you. You want to be able to sell stuff. You want to be able to build your name, to, you know, build bigger relationships. You want to do whatever it is that you're doing, but you want to do it bigger and better and faster, you know, and that's it. So times come, guys, like, and one of my favourite phrases that is terribly awful, and I'm really apologise in advance, but one of my favourite phrases is, it's time to shit or get off the pot, okay? As all of my New Zealand friends would say. And so that's where we are. That's where the group is right now. That's where I am right now is, do you know what? I want to help 1,000 women this year. That was my goal right at the beginning of the year, you know? I want to help 1,000 women this year. I want to donate an awful lot of money to charity. You know, at the moment I'm probably donating $10,000-$15,000 a month to charity, but I want that to be more. You know, I want it to be bigger. I want it to be better. I want to spend more time volunteering. I want to be the crazy cat lady. I want to have a house like full of meerkats and squirrels and dogs and ponies and all this kind of crap. Like, and that's what I want to do. You know, I want to have the vineyard. I want to make wine. I want to sit there and pretend that I know stuff about grapes and all this kind of crap, right? But I want to do that, and I want my business to support me, and I want everybody else in this group to be on board with that, because now you are having to step up, and I'm going to drag you along with me, whatever it takes, okay? So, you know, I know there's been a few comments there, Anushka, you are so not kicked out of the group, like, at all. You are in the group to stay, like, you just make me laugh. But it's about stepping up. Okay, and it's about me saying to you, do you know what? I've been making excuses for the last 6 months on why I don't want to be a 7-figure business owner, and, you know, why I feel bad and why I feel embarrassed about saying to people, hey, I'd love to do 7 figures, and hey, I'd love to, I don't know, make a radio show or whatever it is that I want to do. But now is your time to do the same thing. You know, I want everybody in here to be doing the same thing, and I want everybody in here to come and go, hey Jess, you know what, this friggin' sucks, I have like no money, and I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing, or I have 0 time, and I've got, you know, kids, and my life is just totally getting away from me and my business, and I want you to come to me and say that, and me go, okay, cool, well then let's find a solution. You know, I want you, instead of sitting there and making a ton of reasons as to why you can't do it, let's all like wallow together in that, because, you know, we're all in that position where we're like, sometimes we just can't do this, and today I just can't face the world. But I want you to come to me in the group or tag me in a post or whatever and be like, do you know what, Jess, I'm really struggling with money, or I'm struggling with time, or I'm struggling with energy, or I'm struggling with just not knowing what I'm supposed to be doing, or how to market my content, or how to make sales, or whatever. And I'll go, okay, cool, wallow in your, you know, excuses for like a day, because, you know, it's sensible, it makes sense. And then I want you to go, cool, where's my solution? Because ultimately, that's what this group is for. We're here to create solutions. We're here to step up together. You know, one of the key things that I'm saying all the time is together we rise. And if I'm sort of sat at the back going, yeah, well, you guys go rise, like off you go, you know, knock yourself out. And I'm not rising, and I'm just kind of sat there like, oh yeah, you know, Italy would be lovely this time of year. I'm not serving you. Okay, I'm not serving you in the right way. I'm doing you a disservice, and effectively I'm just sat here showing you that you can be a lazy business owner and you can make multiple 6 figures and it's fine, but ultimately that you get to that point and you're like, oh yeah, I'm still kind of embarrassed about what I do, or I'm still kind of embarrassed about the fact that I have dreams, or oh, I'm still kind of, you know, I don't really want to tell people what I do or how much I earn because I'm worried about what they'll say. You know, when actually in real life, you know, when I look at my actual life, I probably don't care. You know, when people think of me, when people think of who I was in corporate, when people think of the way that I talk to my friends or my family, everybody knows that I'm completely honest and I'm completely down the line, and I want to step up. I want to step up that game. right now. I want to step it up in this group. I want to step it up in other places. I want to make sure that my clients are stepping it up, and I want to make sure that everybody feels supported. So there is absolutely nobody that needs to leave the group. There is nobody that, you know, I feel is like a waste of my time or energy or anything like that. What I'm saying is, if you are like, I guess what I'm saying is, if you're in the group and you want to make your business work, then expect me to help you get there. If you don't want to, like, if you want the help but you don't want to implement or you don't want to take action, unlucky, because I'm going to push you to do it anyway. Like, that's kind of who I am. So you're either on the journey and you're in the group because you're like, yay, I'm really fired up and I want to make my business work and I'm going to impact all these people, I'm going to really help them and it's going to be awesome. Great. We're going to do this together. Like, it's going to be completely fun. We're going to have a blast. We're going to step up. We're going to own everything and it's going to be amazing. If you don't feel like that, if you're like, oh, this sounds like it's going to be a lot of work, which it is, not gonna lie, like, it's gonna be a lot of work. I mean, it's not necessarily gonna cost you anything, but you're gonna have to take action. Like, you're gonna have to be responsible. You're gonna have to kind of get your big girl pants on, like I did this weekend, and go, okay, I'm ready for this to work now. I'm kind of tired with flailing around and not really knowing what I'm doing and hoping that I'm gonna make money somehow, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna expect you to take responsibility. I'm gonna expect you to sit there and go, okay, well, that's cool. I want to do the work and I want to make it happen, and it is going to happen for me, and I'm going to be open-minded and I'm going to use all the tools that are available to me, and I'm going to, you know, stop downloading a shit ton of free content that doesn't work, and I'm going to, you know, put my own strategies in place. I'm going to have solid belief in myself, and if I want to buy something, you know, whether it's a service or a coach or a website or whatever, I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to make stuff happen because of it. Okay, so I don't want, you know, I don't want you to be putting limits on yourself, I guess, is what I'm saying is, you know, I want people to be coming into the group and enjoying it from a place of, do you know what, sometimes this is hard work and sometimes I need support from the group and sometimes I just need somebody to give me a bit of a kick up the backside and tell me to just get on with it. Okay? I've missed like a ton of comments. I'm sorry, guys. I was on like a little mini rant. I don't know what happened to me. Yay, Meredith's here. Woohoo! That's so awesome. You're live. Natalie, you'll do 6 figures too, for the comma and 2 after. Exactly. Do you know what? I don't care when anybody does 6 figures or when anybody does 4 figures or 5 figures or whatever. The fact is, I just want you to do it. Like, I want you to be able to do the stuff that you want to do. Meredith, within 6 months, I'll reach 500 women, change their lives in an impactful way and grow your holistic business. Which would be like, if you hit 5 figures in June, the min is like 10,000, 1,000, around 2,500 US, which is why you can achieve 5 figures this month. Nicola, you love it. Yay, I'm so glad. I was really worried that I was going to do this live stream today and everyone's going to be like, okay, so we're all leaving your group immediately. Which would have been really, really awkward. I was just like, shit, I'm going to do the live stream and everyone's going to be like, okay, Jess has clearly gone absolutely loopy and we're going to leave her group and just kind of leave her there to, you know, rot. Meredith, work to serve solutions, contents, values, and clients will queue to buy services from you. Still want to put more stuff in the group, haven't been as present as much as I'd like. Yeah, exactly. Like, do you know what? We'd love to have you. The thing is, I want everybody to step up into this, and I want you to, I guess, feel free to use the group in the way that you need, in the way that you feel is going to really benefit you the most. So if it's that you want to use the group and use it to step up and get that support that you need, if it's that you want somewhere where you can be kind of unfiltered and where you can go, do you know what, I'm having a really crappy week in business and I don't know why. Anushka, let's create a leaving flash mob. Oh my god, please don't do that. I would be so sad. I'd just be like, oh, who will I talk to anymore? Who will my friends be? But you know, it's that kind of thing where I love it. Natalie's like, while you were on the rant, I actually made a card for my crafting business. Do the work. I love it. Okay, good. You know, at the end of the day, I want you to use the group how you want it. I want you to, if you want support, ask for it. Like, step up, take responsibility. I'm having a crap week in business, or I can't seem to make sales, or my marketing plan sucks, or whatever it is that you feel. is stopping you and you want support, I want you to be able to be unfiltered. That's what the group is for. Like, that's what I'm here for. That's why I spend so much time hanging out in here. Like, just kind of doing whatever I do, because I want you to be successful. And ultimately, that is what I want. And I don't say it enough. Like, I celebrate everybody's wins and I'm very nice about that. But I want you to step up, and I want you to, you know, I want you to do what I do. Like, you can't see it. Hang on, I've got it pinned up. But I'm about to flick a pin in my eye. But I've got this post-it that says, I'm responsible for my own reality. And I want us all to be like that in this group. I want us all to be responsible for our own reality. If you want support from the group, tell me. You know, tell me what you want from me and I will give it to you. Like, I have no issue with doing that at all. I have no issue with creating a ton of content for you. I have no issue with answering questions. I want you all to get support from this group. If it's you want to sell to the group and you're like, hey, this group is full of a shit ton of my ideal clients, I want you to sell to us. Tell us what you're offering. Tell us what you're doing. Don't do the weird spammy thing, because, you know, it's a bit crap and nobody, like, reads stuff if you've posted it in about 5 million groups already. Like, it just gets boring. But if you're like, do you know what? They are my ideal clients and they are in the group. Here you go, Meredith. So here, this is for Meredith, so you can snapshot that. Oh gosh, I don't really know how close it is. I am responsible for my own reality. I'm not sure whether you can see it the right way or not. But, you know, I want you to use the group however you want it to be used. And I want you to sell to us. If we're full of your ideal clients, sell to us. The sentence, oh yay, Natalie, you're going to make a poster. Oh, I can't wait. The sentence is, I am responsible for my own reality. And it's literally something I look at every day and I'm like, do you know what? If business is going badly and if I haven't sold stuff, then I need to look at what else I can do. And if I'm having a miserable time, you know, with exercise, or if I'm not really as healthy as I want to be, or, you know, if I've argued with Sam, usually about something stupid, then I'm like, okay, I'm responsible for my own reality. Doesn't mean that nobody else has to take responsibility. Doesn't mean that if I hired a crap VA, then she doesn't need to take any responsibility. But, you know, it's that kind of stuff. And I want you, you know, I want you to feel like this is a group where you can do that. So from this moment forward, from today forward, we're going to be unfiltered. You know, and regardless of what that looks like, you know, because we're a really nice group. So regardless of what that unfiltering looks like, the only things that I want, you know, in this group ever are for us to respect one another, for us to continue to be supportive of each other. So, you know, if somebody asks for advice, I want it given, and I want people to give it freely, and, you know, for people to do it respectfully. Anything else? Don't care. I want you to sell to us. I want you to be supportive. I want you to be supported. And I want you to enjoy hanging out in the group. So it's going to be a few changes. You know, it's going to be exciting. It is going to be scary. Of course, I was, you know, scared today that when I said this on the live stream, when I talked about how the group was going to change and how I was going to change and things, that people would leave. You know, and that's a natural thing. Like, so if it isn't for some people, I'm sorry. Like, I am. But I'm really protective of you guys in my group, and I want you all to be awesome and step into being awesome, because I know you are, because I spend all my time hanging out in here, getting to know you and getting to know the amazing things that you do. So I want you to step up and own them for yourselves. And I will be like your absolute cheerleader, and so will the rest of the group, if you are prepared to cheerlead you. Okay? So that's where it is, guys. That is what we're doing. We're stepping up in the group. We are, you know, we're going to be supportive, we're going to cheer each other on, we're going to be respectful, we're going to offer support, we're going to sell to each other, you know, it's going to be good, and it's going to stay very, very similar in the group, you know, it is going to stay, but it's time to step up and own it. So if you feel like there is any part of you at the moment that is not stepping up and owning, then that's okay. You have like the next 24 hours to get on board and be like, right, okay, I'm going to go with Jess's slightly crazy idea and I'm going to step up and I'm going to, you know, ace this. Even if you just decide to commit to it for like a week, then I promise you that once that week is up, you will never want to go back. Okay? Let me check these comments. I love some of this. Jess, take a selfie with it later. Yes, of course, like totally. I'll take a selfie with my little post-it note. It'll face. I've just washed my hair literally, and I couldn't be bothered to dry it properly, so it's all like curly and man. But Meredith, I'm going to need some cheers, and I'll do the same for all the women here. Nicola, you've always been the cheerleader. Yeah, absolutely, and I want you all to succeed, so I will be here as your cheerleader as long as you need. And I just want you guys to step up, and I want you guys to call me out on it as well. If you feel like I'm, you know, not doing you guys the service that you need, then you need to tell me, and so I can step up, because I don't want to be the person in the ivory tower who's making all this money and being able to give to charity and do all these things and travel and experience all this cool stuff if you guys aren't on the ride with me. Okay, I want us all to come up. So whatever your dreams are, if it's to travel, if it's to not travel, if it's to be on Oprah, if it's not to be on Oprah, if it's to have a radio show, a podcast, a TV show, a huge Facebook community, you know, if it's to not have any of that stuff and actually spend more time with your family, to have an automated business, to whatever, I want us all to be really clear on what we want, and I want us all to get to that point together, because together we really do rise. Like, I firmly believe that. I've always said it. And I think it's really important that in this group we really do embrace the fact that together we really do rise, and actually helping each other helps us help ourselves. Okay, so are there any questions? Yes, Natalie, let's be sweet to each other. I don't want anyone being mean. Yeah. Oh, Nicola, I feel like a VIP to know that I'm part of this amazingly supportive and knowledgeable group. You are so... Oh, I love you. Like, I just do. Amazing. We've got Meredith, who wants a cheering flash mob. And Nicola, who wants everybody to sweetly kick butt. Yeah, abso-flipping-lutely. Like, I'm ready. You know, I may not kind of have sat here in the past and be like, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, and, you know, I'm going to make sure that you're all accountable, but actually, I am going to do that now. So if you want accountability and you want somebody who's going to turn around and be like, hey, you know, cool, I get why you're not doing that stuff, but you could do it by doing X, Y, Z, then that's what you're getting. Like, that's how the group's going to go. It's going to be accountable, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be fun, it's going to be full of really cool people, like, you know, and I want people to feel like they're able to use that resource. Okay, so there you go, ladies. I feel quite tired now. I'm like, oh, chill. Does anybody have any questions? Like, any questions on how the group will change, on anything that, you know, on my sudden realization, you know, on any kind of deep philosophical matters, while I'm feeling so you know, in tune. But yeah, like I said, this all came about as a result of having to get on a plane and having to do something that I really, really intensely disliked, and having to overcome my own fears around flying. You know, this is where this all came from, realising that actually there were a lot of things that I hadn't achieved that I wanted to achieve, and that if the plane came crashing down, I would be quite sad, because there were quite a few things that I'd feel like I missed out on. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody? Anushka, have another one. Is that another flight so I go back to like chilled out mode? Because I'm always relatively chilled. I'm so tired of, I don't know, it's one of those things. I get a ton of emails into my inbox every morning, and everyone's like, oh, you know, you can make the money you want, you can have the business you want and everything. And I'm like, well, everybody keeps telling you that, but nobody shows you how to do it. So that's what I want this group to do. I want to show you how to build that business that you want. Nicola, do you want us to start off with something specific? What do you want to start with? You know, Anushka, I meant drink because of the philalalalalal. Yes. You know me, I trip over my words a lot. So Nicola, in terms of starting off with something specific, like, I want everybody to start with understanding, what are your goals? Like, what do you actually want? You know, when I was looking at my goals, and they're right here, that's why I keep looking at them. When I was looking at all the things that I wanted to achieve that I hadn't really opened up to myself about, because I was like embarrassed, and I thought, oh, you know, people might think I'm a bit weird, or they might think it's a bit too out there. You know, some of them are like, oh, I want to buy a vineyard in Italy for me and Sam, and I want to retire Sam from the army. Other ones are things like, I want to be able to go on a sea lion experience where you get to feed the sea lions and cuddle them at the zoo and be fine about that. That's because I think I kind of like sea lions. But within my business, I got really specific on what I wanted from my business goals. I wanted, to think about how my business could support charities. I wanted to think about how I could make it a longer term thing. I wanted to think about the kinds of charities that I'd actually like to link up with, and potentially do some work for pro bono, and whether I could help them, and how I could, start arranging things so that they would be more successful, and things like that, and raising their own money and fundraising and things. So I got really specific about that, and I also got really specific about what I wanted the business to look like in terms of how I wanted to make 7 figures. So I want it to be more automated. I want to be able to work with amazing clients, and I do right now. I work with amazing people who are just so driven and so inspiring and so motivating, and I want to be able to show them that it's possible to consistently up-level all of the time. I want to take them on journeys all of the time. I want to show them what it's like to make sales confidently and easily, and actually just launch whatever it is that in their business confidently, and without kind of this fear that it won't sell, or that they're going to be a pain in the ass for like advertising all the time, whatever. Where did I fly to? I went to Geneva. I was doing a 2-day intensive with Neve Chromo. So I went to Geneva in Switzerland. It was amazing. I had lots of really good chocolate. It was just so good. I've eaten the bars that I've brought back already, which is why I'm on a diet this week again. So I've booked myself into the gym for like 5 times this week. Natalie, maybe we should start by all sharing our dreams tomorrow. Do you know what? I think that is a wicked idea. And I think absolutely, let's share our dreams in the group tomorrow. Let's really talk about what it is that we do want to achieve with our businesses, and what we do want to achieve with our goals and stuff. And let's see how we can support each other getting there. Because by you sharing your dreams, if I sat there and said, oh, okay, well, actually, I want to work with a dog charity next year, and somebody said, hey, I'm on the board for a dog charity, and you could work, with us and give us some money, that would be awesome, So sharing your dreams, whilst it can be challenging, it can be a bit terrifying, because these might be things that you may not have expressed to other people. Like if you haven't shared your business dreams before, then it can be a bit scary. But actually, if we share them, there might be things that we can all link up with. There might be joint ventures opportunities and stuff like that. So it's cool. Yeah. Yay! Oh, Meredith, love it. You went to Geneva twice. Oh, honestly, I want to live there. Like, I was looking at it, I was looking around, I was like, I want to live here. It's just so warm and sunny and nice, and everybody's like really friendly. My only problem is I don't actually speak that much French. Sam is fluent, but I'm like not at all. So amazing. Okay, good. So are there any other questions? Does anybody have any questions on what it's going to be like, any kind of realizations for you guys? Tomorrow we're going to be sharing our dreams, courtesy of Natalie, who awesomely put up that suggestion. But yeah, that's how it's going to be. We're going to all do goals, and we're all going to actually hit them, and we're all going to like rise together, and we're all going to be really successful. If you don't want to be like that, that's fine. Oh my god, Natalie, your mum can teach me French. I would love that. Like, honestly, I would so love that. Like, I want to learn how to speak French so badly, I just can't. But yeah, that would be ace. But yeah, so this is how the group is going to be. We're going to rise together. There is going to be no woman left behind if this is where you want to be. If obviously it doesn't look right for you and you don't want to do the whole kind of like, let's be really supportive and let's, all stick together and let's all like do the work and stuff like that, I totally get it. And sometimes, I hate to say it, like, it's not the right time. Like, and that's fine. But for everybody who it is the right time, for everybody who is like, yep, do you know what? I really want to step up. I really want to do well. I really want to enjoy my business. I really want to make it happen. I want to, friggin' ace it right out the gate. Then let's do this. Let's use this group. Let's use this time to really make it happen for you. Because I believe in all of you, and you all obviously believe in me, otherwise you wouldn't show up here all the time. So let's do it together. Okay? Yay! Okay. That freezing face is so awkward. Oh, that's amazing. I literally look so happy, like a Labrador. But yeah, so if anybody has any questions, let me know. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about dreams and goals. Love that from Meredith. My dream is, my action plan is. Those are really cool questions to kind of get people started. So if you want to spark something, then have a think about it. Ultimately, tomorrow we're going to be sharing the cool things that we want to do in business, and we're going to kind of, over the course of this week, we're going to work out how we ditch the excuses and how we actually just really move forward and make big things happen. You're so welcome, Meredith. Like, you're so welcome. Snapshot! Yes, I will take a snapshot of me and my post-it note, and I will post that in the group, but I am so excited to have you all on board. Like, if you're staying in the group, you're staying with me, I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to kind of move forward with this. It's going to be awesome. As Nicola said, it's perfect timing. Yeah, it friggin' is. We're going to have a blast. All right then, my lovelies, I will leave you for today. I think I've kind of downloaded a ton of stuff, but come back tomorrow. We're going to be usual time tomorrow, so 12 o'clock British time, which is 7 a.m. EST, which is 6 a.m. CST, which is 1 p.m. CET. I'm trying to remember time zones at the moment. I'm doing really well. But yeah, so join us tomorrow. We'll be talking about dreams, talking about goals, and let's just hammer this out and like get it seriously done. Okay? Yeah. And I'll take a snapshot right now. I'll speak to you guys later on. Have lovely afternoons. Any questions, anything you need, any feedback, send it over. I love it. Speak to you soon.